Papi, where is Mommy? She has gone far away from us, Rosa. It's going to be me and you from now on. Why did she go far away, Papi? I don't know, hija. After the presumed death of his wife, Josephine, Miguel Lozano was left to raise their young daughter on his own. Rosa wasn't even aware of what happened. But staring into his daughter's eyes, Miguel knew the coming years would be difficult, having lost someone who had been so essential to their lives. But Miguel didn't lose hope. He promised himself he would try to fill that empty space in his daughter's life, and with time, perhaps the few memories she had of her mother would fade away. Miguel ran a small business and lived in Monclova, Mexico. The mornings at the house were painful. Breakfast was horrible for days on end, and Rosa's hair and clothes looked more like a jumbled up mess than anything. As it turned out, the toddler years were easier than what came after it. Miguel usually managed to smash things up in a bowl, but now, to cook real food, that was a challenge. Papi, that's not how you do it. Let me show you. A pinch of paprika and cilantro over the beans, and don't forget the lime. No, Rosa, don't. Hija, that's too much paprika. Papi, water! As the years went by, Rosa started learning to do things for herself, and Miguel too had caught on to all of life's daily necessities, from laundry to cooking to Rosa's school schedule. Which color do you like, hija? Rojo, papi. Like my Rosa. Miguel always tried to be there for his daughter. Rosa was a quiet, simple girl. She had a handful of friends, and the only other people she met now and then were her mother's sister, Tia Maria, and her abuela, Miguel's mother, who lived with his elder brother. However, as she grew into her teenage years, there came a distance between the father and daughter. Rosa couldn't possibly share everything with her father, and her father couldn't simply help her out with everything either. And over time it seemed that their relationship became a little strained. Papi, I need to tell you something. Remember you were missing money? It was actually me. I took it. Papi, I lied to you. I did school today. Papi, the boy you saw walking home with me from school, I like him. Papi, the only reason I didn't open my door last night was because I wasn't sleeping. I snuck out. Miguel would often notice Rosa wanted to speak to him, but something held her back. But when she would eventually build up the courage and come confess to him after doing something wrong, Miguel couldn't say anything to her except remain silent. Hijo, are you going to be alone your whole life? Isn't it time you find someone? You know why I've been like this. Hijo, it's been a long time. Rosa has grown up. She's not a child anymore. She'll understand. It was true. Rosa was now much older and independent, and Miguel started to consider his mother's advice. It was through her that he was introduced to a woman named Gloria. Gloria seemed to be understanding and supportive of him, and she had no problem with the fact that Miguel had a daughter. After meeting her, Miguel felt a different kind of happy after a long time, and he agreed to a date. However, when Rosa came to know, she didn't like it or approve of it at all. After returning from his date, Miguel peeked into his daughter's room. He could tell she was angry with him. But perhaps these could change her mood. Miguel had gone all the way across town to bring it for her. Hija, look what I brought for you, your favorite chocolate. But Rosa only turned the other way and said, I don't want it. Miguel couldn't make Rosa understand, and eventually his relationship with Gloria didn't last. However, neither did his relationship with Rosa. When she turned 18, Rosa decided to move out, and although Miguel didn't want things to be this way, he had to accept his daughter was an adult now. After Rosa left the house, she never looked back again. She continued on with her life without him. She got a place for herself and enrolled into college, but despite how much she tried to stay away from her father, he kept calling her and sending her letters, to which Rosa never replied. When she graduated college, he came to the ceremony uninvited, but Rosa behaved as if she didn't even know him. A few years later, when she completed police academy and became a licensed officer, he came once again. but Rosa didn't speak to him nor come out to meet him. Miguel was heartbroken, but when he would receive the good news, he couldn't help but meet his daughter. And another 5 years later, when he found out that she was getting married, he was overjoyed. "Miguel, do you know Rosa is getting married? The wedding is in a few days." "This is such great news. Then I need a suit. I don't have a suit. I need to buy a gift for my hija." Miguel made all the preparations and traveled to his daughter's wedding. This time he would meet Rosa for sure. But when he arrived at the ceremony with flowers and gifts, Rosa only reciprocated with despise. "What are you doing here?" "What am I doing here? Hija, how could I not come? You're getting married today. This is the happiest day of your papi's life. I brought a gift for you." "You didn't have to. Don't tell anyone here that we're related." "Rosa, I haven't seen you in so many years. There's not a day I don't miss you." "Stop, please. Just leave from here." After her marriage, Rosa's job required her to transfer to another city. She moved there and she was happy with her life, her husband, her new family, and the days were going by good for her. However, 2 years later, when she got news she was expecting, she thought her father would come with gifts and flowers again. But he didn't. At the time, Rosa just looked past it. She soon became overwhelmed with everything going on in her life. But when another 2 years came to pass and her father didn't even try to contact her, she thought it was odd. He somehow managed to find her address, her number every time, but this time, not even a letter? So Rosa called her tia Maria. "Hello tia, how's everything?" "Well Rosa, everything's just fine. How are you? How's the little one?" "He's growing up tia. Do you know anything about Papi?" "Divine justice, Rosa. He has been suffering in the hospital for the past 3 years. His brother is paying the bills and now he has no one to take care of him in this age." "Tia, why didn't you tell me before?" "Rosa, after you moved, we lost touch with you." When Rosa heard about her father's condition, she traveled back to her hometown to meet him. She took her son and went to the hospital where a nurse escorted them to her father. He was weak and frail, but when he saw her, he suddenly began to struggle to get up. "You have a visitor, senor." The nurse removed his oxygen mask. When he turned to Rosa and smiled through the pain. "Rosa, you finally came. I told your tío to find you, but he said you were transferred to another city. All these years, I only kept breathing to see you one last time, hija." Rosa stood there staring at her father, struggling to breathe. What could you have done to deserve this? But Miguel didn't answer her. He turned to look at the little boy standing behind Rosa, clutching onto her dress. "Is that my grandpapi?" "Oh, Rosa, he is so beautiful. You don't know how happy I am that you came, to see your face, to see my grandpapi before I—" Miguel began to cough, holding his chest. The nurse hurried to his care. "The patient's heartbeat is racing. We have to put on the mask right away." As the nurse began preparing the equipment, Miguel anxiously pleaded, "Just 1 minute. 1 minute." He clutched onto Rosa's hand and looked at her. "Rosa, Rosa, I didn't kill your mother." "Ma'am, please step aside. We have to bring the doctor." Rosa watched as the nurse hurried to put the mask on, and doctors came in to relieve her father. That very day, Miguel breathed his last. Rosa stayed back to attend her father's funeral, but she didn't stay long. Feeling a little heavy-hearted, she returned back to her home, back to her life, and tried to forget about everything. A year went by since that day, and Rosa had moved on. She was occupied with her busy life at home and at work. It was one evening, while she was at the precinct, that she heard a woman speaking rather loudly with one of the officers. When she peered out, she saw the woman had come with 3 of her children and seemed to be in quite the distress. "Who is she? What is she here for?" "She's the wife of Jose Aguilar. He was arrested a few days ago. The man was intoxicated, started a fight at a bar. She's here to bail him out." Hearing the woman's voice again, Rosa went to inquire the matter. "Miss, calm down. Tell me what's the issue." But when the woman turned around, Rosa suddenly fell into shock. She recognized this woman. This was her mother. It was more than 20 years ago when Josephine ran away with another man, leaving her husband and her 2-year-old daughter with nothing. When her sister Maria found out she was missing, she asked Miguel, but he didn't tell her anything. When days went by, Maria became suspicious and filed a report to the police against Miguel. Miguel was then arrested and harassed by the authorities into confessing, but with lack of evidence, they didn't have a choice but to eventually let him go. Maria was confident that it was Miguel who had taken the life of her sister, but only Miguel knew what the truth was. He was aware of what Josephine had done, but he kept it to himself, looking at his daughter. "She has gone far away from us, Rosa." "Why did she go far away, Papi?" "I don't know, hija." When Miguel stared at his young daughter, he knew he had to keep this a secret for her future. If people found out her mother had done something like this, their family would be shamed in the society. So Miguel remained silent, so Rosa wouldn't have to grow up in shame, so no one could point a finger at her that she was the daughter of an unfaithful woman. But as Rosa grew up, she became curious as to what happened to her mother. Her father never told her anything, so she asked her tia, "Tia, what happened to Mommy?" "Ask your father, only he knows where he's hidden her body." Rosa didn't want to believe it at first, but over time, she became doubtful whether it was all true indeed. "Papi, I need to tell you something." "Papi, I lied to you." The only reason Rosa confessed to her father about her secrets was because she hoped he would reciprocate similarly, but her father never told her anything. However, now after all these years, Rosa finally realized what her father had done for her. Rosa looked at her mother, at her 3 step-siblings. They didn't need to know. "Let me see what I can do." "I'm sorry, Papi. I love you. I always loved you, but I misunderstood you. You were always there for me. You were a good father, but I couldn't be a good daughter to you. Forgive me, Papi." Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.